Okay, guys. So, first thing I want you guys to understand is what the studio is, right? And Chris already knows I like to use analogies to explain to you the importance of what's in front of you, right? So think of this room like your grandma's house, right? Or your mother's house, right? Now when you come into your mama house, you're supposed to be comfortable, right? That's mama's house. It's grandma's house, right? You're supposed to be comfortable. But you know there's certain things in that house you cannot break. You can use, but you can't break, right? Like mama's couch. You're supposed to sit on mama's couch and get real comfortable, right? You're not supposed to put your feet on it. You're not supposed to sit on the arm. You're not supposed to run it down. But you are supposed to be able to lay down and be extremely comfortable in here. I mean, like, you're supposed to know every stitch in that, right? You're supposed to be able to have a couple of jewels on that. Because you already know that's mama's couch. Don't physically jewel on this, but I mean, I don't mind your fingers, piece of your dirt right there. You know what I mean? That means you used it, right? Now we're gonna move from mama's couch and go into the kitchen, right? Everybody's mom always had like this cabinet, with a really expensive china that she only like whips out on like Thanksgiving or something, right?
Easter.
That would be these, right? You know damn well it make no sense to have such expensive speakers just in a cabinet for no reason, right? But we can't put our china in the cabinets right here. These right here are meant to be used, meant to be looked at, not meant to be poked or touched in any wrong ways, right? The only thing you do is turn this on. That's it. You don't touch it after that, because your speakers are very delicate, extremely delicate, right? Especially these speakers. If you want to come around and take a look, these are, I don't recommend anyone doing this, and I don't like doing this myself, but I'll show you. These speakers, the tweeters themselves are not hard. They're a membrane. You see that? Did you notice that? No. I mean, seriously, get closer, because I'll do it over here. It's just a membrane. You see that? If that membrane doesn't come back out, you won't get sound. You won't get the proper sound out of that thing. Okay? Now, this is a little harder, but I still don't recommend touching it, because these JBLs are extremely expensive for one. They're very well made. They're made very responsive. So you see this thing up here? This right here, this rubber piece is like a thicker version of that. If that is indented, broken, or anything, you'll have a blown speaker. And you'll have $400 worthless in front of you. Right? Now, we gonna move on to your grandmama Bentley. Right? Now, this is the coupe right here. This thing is meant to be used. It's a car, right? It is pretty and whatnot, and it's highly expensive, right? And it gets you from A to B. It gets you exactly where you need to be, right? But the one thing is, if you scratch mama's Bentley, she'll kill you, right? Same thing here. If any of these fall, I'll lose my mind. I'll tell you that much, because as I said, these are expensive. But as I said, one of these can buy the table. Okay? And I have a few of these here, right? Now, that's really nice. I mean, I love this mic. You guys will get to use it eventually. But that mic, as I said, is extremely expensive compared to everything else. This mic runs circles around it. It's a SM7B. Very, very popular mic when it comes to the recording industry. Every single recording artist who has said they are a recording artist. Matter of fact, put it like every single person who's gone platinum has used one of these. Every single person. Okay? This was Michael Jackson's personal mic. He used to walk around with like 5 of these. One of them was modded just to have that certain sound that he wanted, because this just is an amazing mic. So now, as I said, this one is like the Bentley. This one is another Bentley, but it's like the Continental. It has everything in it. You know what I mean? Like this, you don't want to even breathe on hard. You know. And that's basically the input devices that we have. Right? We have when it comes to this, right, we have our mics, and then we have our output devices, which are speakers. This right here, as I said, is the couch, even though, it's not an input or output device. It's actually both. It's input and an output, right? Now, what I want you guys to understand, when you come into the space, there's a series of events that needs to happen, right? The first series of the first event in the series needs to be turning on the computer, right? Once you know the computer's booting up and it got to a little, you can even see the screen thing, that's fine. Reach back here and turn on the power for the board, right? You see this button right here? That's the second thing you turn on, right? Once that is on, wait a couple of seconds. It doesn't take that long, but once you see this power button goes power light goes solid blue, start turning on. You can turn on your speakers, right? Your speakers are not going to come on immediately. I'll show you. Whoever's over here will be able to see it. If you just lean forward, and you're going to turn it on for me, when everyone can see. Come, you're going to look at the speaker. I'll do it for you on the other one. Just turn on the speaker and watch how long it takes to turn on. Click it on. See, it's not on yet, right? See, it's not on yet, right? Now it is, right? Each one of these speakers have their own amplifier in there. Remember you guys were asking about the preamp? It has its own amplifier in the sense of it doesn't need an amp like the one that's out there to drive them. They're all powered, right? So they have their own amplifier. Now these, since they're JBL, they're like the German makers of like everything, right? You know, like you think of cars, you think of the Germans, like they make everything to a T. JBL does that too. The reason it takes that long, I think it was specifically chosen that time, to be honest, because they're that anal. But it's to give the preamp enough time to get to level so that it can make the maximum amount of sound come out evenly, right? And that's really what you want to do. Speakers are always the last thing on, and then when you're leaving here, there's also a series of events, and it's literally the same chain of events in reverse. Speakers turn off first, then the board, then the computer. Understand? Cool. I don't really want to go into to too much detail with stuff today, because you can start losing the grasp of certain things. I want you guys to set up a time to come back for the EQ section, because it's going to be the board. We're going to focus on the board itself, okay? Whoever wants to do that half an hour session, feel free to leave your information here, and I will set up a day for you. Even it could be all of you guys again, but I'll take you guys through the EQ section, just the EQ section. I'll show you how to use the board, but we'll focus on the EQ section, and then there'll be another day where we do Pro Tools. Today we can't do Pro Tools. Well, we can in a couple of hours, but I have to I guess reinstall it for this machine. So to recap, we have all of the stuff that's in the studio. A lot of it's all of it is significant, all of it's delicate, right? But all of it needs to be used, and all of it you guys have to get comfortable with. I didn't even get to this section that's over here, which is our rack section. What I will tell you about this section is that this has a lot of ins and outs. So like you see all the things you hold in your hand, your phone, your devices. Let's say you have your computer crap at home, you want to play music and all that stuff. You can come in with just a thumb drive actually, right? And plug in any one of these things. Any one of them has a space for a thumb drive. This one's there. You have the Denons who are down here, and same thing for that one, right? All three of them play CDs. All three of them plays MP3s. 2 of them are Bluetooth. So let's say you have your project on your phone, and let's say it was a good project, really good project, something that you want to actually keep for yourself. You do not have to give it to anyone, but you do have to play it for a class, right? Bluetooth it to this thing. You know what I'm saying? Because when it comes down to privacy and then keeping your intellectual stuff, Bluetooth is a very good way to stream when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you guys are going to be into, but being honest with you, as I said, I have to give you all the tools, right? And that's one of them, right? What I want you guys to understand is that when you do come in here, you're supposed to have like a sense of, this is mine. You know what I mean? Not like, oh, it belongs to the studio engineer or Jamie or blah blah blah, or LaGuardia. You're supposed to say this is mine. You're supposed to have a level of comfort when you come and sit back here. Like when I come and sit down right here, I feel that there's nothing in front of me that I can't conquer, because there's nothing in front of me I don't understand. You see what I'm saying? I want you guys to have that same feeling when you come here. Now, before I start dismissing or anything like that, any questions on what we went over today? No? No?
Please ask me. Thank you.
Most definitely. Okay.
Question.
Yep.
What's the reason for the process computer board speaker board computer?
That's a good question. All right. I kind of explained it, but I didn't want to give it away because I wanted you guys to ask that question. JBL, they with their speaker, remember it takes forever to turn on. One thing that that always happens to us studio rats, and I mean hate it. It happened to me 4 times in my life already. You turn on your speakers first. They're powered or they're unpowered. Doesn't matter what they are. You turn on your speakers first, then you flick something else on that's early in the line, and it sends enough power through the board, then out through the speakers, and blows your speakers. Yeah, and when it happens that way, it's a horrible chain of events, because then there's really a huge risk of fire, because what it does, it sends power and then it's amped by the preamp and then amped by this thing, and then that's like you literally you're not just multiplying that power by 10, you're multiplying 10 by 10 on top of that once it got to the speaker. So flames could come out of here depending on how powerful your amp was. You see what I'm saying? So that's to answer your question. You could blow those things up, and they can become projectiles. They could literally become bombs. You don't want that, you know. Being honest with you, you guys are safe, because if you mess up, JBL already kind of fixed that, right? When I took this thing apart, I put a fuse in there just to make sure. I mean, students. I mean, I blew shit before. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you guys to piss me off. So I know, you know what I mean. Being honest with you, I fixed this. My own bare hands. It would kill me if you blew it up. I understand it's, you know what I mean, like human error. So I put a little safeguard in there. Well, if it ever breaks, I think whoever's sitting at the board will get a little shock. No, not a physical shock, but like, what the hell? Because they'll hear something. You know what I mean? But they'll immediately stop working. They'll let me know. But that fuses blow and have to be changed after a while. So, you know, that's our safeguard, all right? So I already put a little things in here to make sure that the speakers don't blow. I cannot stress enough how much these are Bentleys, because I can't protect them when you're driving them. There's no protection for this, right? So they have to be extremely comfortable. I'm actually going to spend half an hour on just the mics when we do training on the mics. I'm going to spend a lot of time on how to hook up the mic, how to handle the mic, you know what I mean? Like, I was handling it terribly when I was in front of you. Like, when I put it back together, I was realizing I did this, I shouldn't do that. What I should do is pop here and pop here, because it's a whole, you know what I'm saying? So that the thing don't fly out. When you hold it, make sure it's in the palm of your hand type stuff. When you're moving it, you have one hand on it still. You know what I mean? Stuff like when you're hanging it, you have 2 options. You could plug it in first, and then so I can actually practice at the same time. Just in case it slips out your hand, it's actually being held, right? The other method, which is his favorite, my favorite, right, is the 2-hand method, where you grab here and here at the same time while you're doing whatever. You see what I'm saying? Those little things. You have to be very mindful of the microphones. You know what I mean? Because if you drop one of these, man, it's terrible. It's just really bad. You know what I mean? You have to ever think of how scared I was. Like, one of my first jobs was to take one of these apart. Like, here. This is the first thing I had to do, was take one of those apart, because I had to understand how it works. You know what I mean? And then I looked online and realized how expensive it was. I was here sweating like.
How much is it exactly?
It's a Bentley.
Yeah.
It's a Bentley.
Yeah, like, each of
Bentley.
these is about
That buys
5,
you a house.
100?
Yeah, about 500-600 for each of those, right? And the one under here is about 8,
That's crazy.
right? As I said, these together is about about $400 or $500, right? So it's about $250 each speaker, right? This when it first came out, it was about $1,000, but right now what it's worth, probably like $50. You know what I mean? Because it's just so old and there's so many other things. The board that you guys are really gonna use now, come on, let me show you this stuff. Sophisticated in its own way. It's very simple in the operation, but sophisticated in its own way. You know what I'm saying? This is what you guys are really gonna be using at the end of all of this. You know what I mean? Like right now, everyone's gonna be trained on this. Everyone, even when I switch it over, everyone's gonna get trained on that board because that board has an EQ, and that's what I need you guys to get really good at. All right? So yeah, as I said, you guys are in for like a huge treat, especially being part of Jamie's class, because Jamie's class kind of gets the little inside scoop. But other than his class, to be honest with you, you know, because Jamie's class gets to come down here just as if you guys are the radio club. And all you have to say is that I'm Jamie's class, public speaking, whatever the name of your class is. You see what I'm saying? You name drop. It's fine. A name drop. Jamie Riccio is my teacher. I'm coming down here for training. It's fine. No one can stop you. You see what I'm saying? Literally. Nobody. There was a time when they tried. You know, there was a time when, you know, we'd be in here or whatever, or I guess I was here. Students try to come to training and BMAC was like, no. You're like, no, you know, whatnot. But no one can stop you this time. You know what I mean? Like, you're part of, if you're a part of, even part of BMAC. You can be part of BMAC, the radio club, any one of the 3 classes that I'm training this year, or you can be a person who's just had a personal interest in the radio club or the radio. Everyone here has given your email address to Jamie, right? Mm-hmm. Has she emailed you guys a proposal form yet?
No, not yet.
Well, I know you should have it.
Oh, yeah, I have one. Yeah. We need that for the project? No. Oh, okay.
You don't need it at all. I'm offering it to you guys.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys want to make a program, you have a dope idea, or if it's not so dope, it's fine, still submit it. You know what I mean? I have a bunch of ideas here, and some of them, like this one is dope as hell, but he didn't give me enough information. You know what I mean? Like, some of these already got approved, honestly. A lot of these got approved.
When are they about to, start running it?
I'm gonna start running these, as soon as I get all these guys trained. But if you notice, like, these are programs that are gonna be running. Huh?
Can I take a look at them?
You can, actually. Come sit here. You can. This part of your... No, over there, honey. Over there. You can actually sit over there. It's part of your job as treasurer. There's certain things that you club members get. And she's an officer, so there's certain things they get privy to. But like these here are already fully approved.
Approved? And these
fully approved. Some of these are fully approved. No. Some of these are fully approved.
So we gotta ask her for one of those, or you get?
Yeah, we're gonna. Honestly, once you sign up or leave your email with me or Giselle or her or anybody in the radio club, you get one of these because they send them right out. Anyone who comes here and just leaves their information gets one of these. All these are approved too. Those are the first ones approved. That one is the first one approved right there. One with Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
Genius. So yeah, everyone's gonna get one of these. You know, just as I said, you can just email me at my email. Hey, proposal form, or just proposal form. You know what I mean? We don't have to be formal, bro. I just graduated. You know what I mean? Like he and I we're classmates. We were in the same class. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I mean, like, I'm normal. I'm a normal guy. You know what I mean? Like, even Jamie, she's extremely normal. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be intimidated or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, to be honest with you, I'm sweating bullets talking to you guys. You know what I mean? It's what I do. What I do is sit back there and touch buttons and shit. You know what I mean? Talking is not my thing. You know what I mean? But understand that, you see me in the hallways, you have a problem, you have a question about your project, blah, 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 blah. Feel free to walk right up to me. I'm not like a monster. I'm not gonna, like, oh, don't talk to me now. I'm gonna bring me in the hallways. You know what I mean? No. Not one of those. You know what I mean? Just remember that we can get whatever you need accomplished as long as you have the heart to make it happen. All right? Cool. And that's all I'm gonna leave you guys with today. Please set up times with me to come back for the EQ section and the mic section and Pro Tools. All right? All right. Cool. You like that one, right? You like that first one, right?
Yeah,
Love that first one.
I was this is like the general one I was